day where I was totally wrong. But Moody, Moody wins for the 49ers with a 44-yard field goal after missing 3 field goals for the Niners as the Niners beat the Bucks 23-20. Brock Purdy threw for 353 yards and two and a touch, one interception, 2 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. And
No, he didn't have any
CMC,
turnovers.
Christian McCarthy, showed up in his NFL debut this season with 13 carries, 39 yards, 6 receiving for 68 yards. Eddie, what's your take on this game before we get to your kicker? This is funny. I enjoy every bit of it.
They tried everything not to win that game. I no. Let me take that back. Our special teams tried everything not to win the game, and then our defense with all the late penalties. Uh, I mean, if you really look at in totality, they outgained Tampa Bay by 200 yards almost. Baker Mayfield only had 116 yards passing, and he didn't get over 100 yards until the fourth quarter. So it's not like they were. It was not like they were beating us. We were beating ourselves. Like you said, 3 missed field goals. They had a punt that was muffed, that was recovered, that gave Tampa Bay the first touchdown. And like I said, costly penalties. They had 3 or 4 penalties on the last drive to even put them in field goal range. So it's a lot to be cleaned up. Purdy played good, but like I told you when we was talking, they didn't almost deserve to win that game. It was just too many mistakes.
I was kind of a little surprised at the Bucks keeping up in this game, but like you say, the field goal misses and me give them better field goal position, even though they didn't do much with it. But seeing some of your defenders they didn't do much until like almost when it matters. So I mean, give credit to the defense for stepping up when it matters in some of the plays, of course. But Lino, what do you think of a Baker Mayfield? Because I'm impressed. This is the reason why I watched this game, because I thought it was going to be a good matchup to see what Baker did last week. I thought he was going to do the same thing with his players. But Eddie has break it down for me last week. Well, a couple of days ago when I was doing the preview on how Baker's going to be missing some players. But dude, I'm impressed with you with the Bucks sticking around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed with what Baker's doing. He's doing whatever he can with whatever he has. Um, but that's not going to get you wins in the NFL. We don't do moral victories around here. So a loss is a loss is a loss is a loss. But yeah, I mean, he's doing well. I think Mike Evans comes back after their bye week. They got a bye week next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
then Mike Evans should be back. So they're going to make that push. Uh, Falcons lost, so that helped them out today, so they can make that push for the NFC South because they're still a dangerous team. Defensively, I still think they're solid. It's just offensively, they're hurt right now. They have to get healthy. So just get this bye behind them and get healthy, and we're going to see even more of what Baker can do with the weapons that he had when they were firing all cylinders to start the season.
Yeah. Though I'm impressed with him. I mean, I think he's become the player that, like you said last time, he's more mature, he's more composed, even though he made some throws out there. But Eddie, one of your best offensive players returned his debut. Let's talk about CMC, man, what he brought to the game. To being a receiver and a running back. No, this guy.
They missed him more in the passing game than they did in the running game. You could put any running back there and run the ball. They've proven that in Kyle Shanahan's tenure. Where he excels is the matchups. You put a linebacker on him, he's going to be the linebacker. He could run any route. He can run any route like a receiver. So, do you really want to put a corner on him? He's too fast for a safety, and he's a mismatch for a linebacker. So, how are you going to play them? You can't double anybody else because you're worried about him, and that's what he brings to the table in the passing game.
Right.
It was never the running game. Sure, he turns small runs into big runs if you give him a crease. Don't get me wrong. I'm not downplaying his talent running between the tackles. But at the end of the day, they missed him in the passing game more than they missed him in the running game. But I didn't expect him to be explosive running the ball. I mean, because that comes with time. It was hot. He's trying to get his lungs, so to speak. But in the passing game is where he made his biggest impact.
Yeah.
The bomb up the side, McCaffrey on the linebacker, Purdy found him. So he did well for his first game. It's going to take a couple games for him to get totally acclimated, but that's where they missed him in the passing game.
No, I gotta ask this question, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Debo Sandel situation in the sideline. Was that justified? Like, what's going on? Do you hear anything after? Hopefully, we don't got a technical difficulty with my boy Eddie, bro.
I think we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we do.
Yo, so you go ahead and tell me about that, man. What's going on with this guy? I mean, I know they're missing the field goals and stuff like that, but
yeah, I mean, is it justified? No, because they're all NFL players. We're all adults. I know frustration sometimes sets in, and because you're like, this is just another, like Eddie was saying, special team has kind of was hurting them all game, and I believe
right,
that was his second missed field goal on that, and I think he said something to Moody coming off the field, and his long snapper kind of took an exception, like, oh, like we're all in this together, like we don't say nothing, when you drop a ball or you fumble, so don't come at my kicker. You know what I mean? It was he was defending his guy because that's the guy that he spends all week with, just working on
right,
kicks, working on timing and all that. Um, I'm not gonna say it's a bad look. It's football. It's the heat of the moment. Things happen. I mean, that's listen. If that's how he wants to show his leadership, and they're okay with that, hopefully they hugged it out after the game because if this altercation happened and they lost, I think it might be a little different in the locker room. But hopefully now that they, hindsight 2020, but they won the game, and maybe hopefully they hugged it out in the locker room because listen, there's a lot of cameras nowadays. It's not like back in the day where you had like two cameras. There's
right.
cameras up top. There's cameras on the field. There's cameras on the. They catch everything. So you just can't do it. I get it. I probably would have. I don't know if I would have said something, but I definitely would have gave him that side eye. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, we out here dying of this Florida heat, and you want to be out here and miss two field goals in this beautiful weather.
Right. To his defense, he's just coming back from injury. But I don't know how much does that play into missing it, but he made the field goal that matters, I guess, to win the game. But there would have never been that situation if you would have made them field goals.
Yeah,
And the frustration got to him, man. And Debo was actually busted. I mean, he was playing. I mean, the 49ers really, really work hard to win that.